men and women, the male and female roles, right? Back in those days, the man needed the woman for a particular thing, take care of the home, organize the children, etc. And the woman needed the man to go out, win the bread, and come back and provide the food, right? Now, the advent of the 21st century has now allowed women to come out of the home and do different things. And I think in terms of the whole fact that men have disregarded women was that we deal in numbers as humans. The monetary value that the man brings is $10,000. But nobody values the fact that this woman is holding down our household.
That's not job by itself.
That's not by itself.
When I see one
so he comes with this ego. Now, and now that the woman in the 21st century comes with a monetary value, and the fact that you can take care of the home, that's two aces, and you have one ace. You understand? And now the man now does not understand how to properly deal with the fact that he is no longer needed, right? For the monetary value. When I say for the monetary, because he's needed for all other things that a woman can't provide. But the monetary aspect, he can't. He doesn't have to. Right? He could. She could gladly say yes, but she could say no because she already have a car. Everything else in her name. So now he has to battle through the whole ego of being brought up in a society or a space that says a man is a man because he can provide X, Y, Z for his wife. And know that he cannot do that, or he can, but he doesn't need to. Where does his role lie in the whole society? So now, as I said, the whole coping mechanism is that how do I now change that, MO and decide to deal with the relationship differently as a new age man with a woman who is not in the household 24/7. Right. What do I do to fix that and know that, listen, she paid for this bill and I don't want to feel bad about it?
You know what you could do? Help out around the house.
Well, that's one thing.
That's one thing. Fall in.
My brother.
We talking the things, Cassie. We talking the things.
What things? Let me hear. I hear a little bit.
You know we rules. We taking the thing, we have the food, but somebody bring up a important topic of how men regard women. And salient points coming out. Some agree with, some ain't too agree. But where's your point? Let me hear where you coming from. What do you think? How men regarding women nowadays?
I wouldn't. He was making a good point.
Oh, you hear that?
Well, as I was walking the food, so he was making a good point where exactly does the male role lie now that the woman has a sort of a double barrel,
right?
And I think that is something that we need to address in terms of our society from as early as child coming up,
right?
From primary school. I wouldn't want to go so low into.
You have to go.
You have to.
Preschool is preschool.
That's what I'm saying. The reason why I would want to go so low into preschool because we all know children reach a certain age where they form who they are, like 5, 7.
Right.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you why preschool. Because preschool is the formative years of the young child. So when you start to build them from there, when they reach up to primary school, they're not going to depart. They'll just build upon what they already know.
Well, the basic structure of the child rearing doesn't. Well, in my opinion, I could be wrong. I'm not a psychologist or a child.
You're looking at from the age of reason.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking at the age of reason because prior to the age of reason, children are children.
Yeah.
Right. So we fast forward.
Right.
Fast forward to into the testing or the testable years in school, academia. Right? Where as well in my days, I don't want to sound too old, but you had social studies.
Right.
Where you learn how to be a decent human being, as it were. Right? The normal thing, you find money in ground, you have to get up by the teacher, by the police.
Or you give it civics.
Right,
civics
exactly. Yeah. Civics is what they used to call it.
Like
right?
1960s, what?
All I do is go to the bus, you see a woman, you say don't give her your seat.
Because why? Because manners make it man.
That's
right. So, I mean, at that point is where we need to teach the young men how to be double barreled. And I mean, I heard the straight point you were making about helping out more around the house.
Right.
Right? Because you have the tendency of where the woman can take on some of the male dominated roles. The male does not want to take on the female dominated roles because you don't want to be less of a man. Or viewed as less of a man. Right?
To wash our wares, boy.
Exactly. Or
but that's just the thing, it's just what you say to wash your hands. But here I was saying too, you have to move away from this gender role. If we talking equality, we have to talk equality.
Across the
Not
board.
exactly.
Beach, wow.
Yes.
You see, the thing about now, what we see as washing wears, or what some men see as washing wears, they may see washing wears as the man. The thing is, you eat. Yeah, some men don't see it as what I washing wears
Well, I
for.
keep my hands soft, boy. I hold our hands. Feel that.
But seriously,
Yeah.
no. You eating food too. You dirty in plate, you dirty in cup. It's not taking anything out of you to wash with. And I'm sure, because I know I have female friends who have said before, at least wash the ways, you know, at least make me feel, you know, get up.
Yeah, at least,
don't feel like, don't do it as if, well, I had to wash this way. Don't do it grudgingly. Do it as you, okay, this is your home as well. You have to actively participate in keeping your home or maintaining your home in a certain.
No, but watch. Let me do a quick poll right here. Let me do a quick poll
I have a
right
question.
here.
Hey, what?
How many of us say there's wash wares at home?
I watch it.
Yeah, watch that. But listen to this. Whatever watch the breakup.
That's adapting already.
Whatever watch the breakup with Vince Vaughn and this Jennifer Aniston. And she said, I wanted to wash your wares. And he's like, why you want me to wash your wares? Okay, I'm wash your wares. No, I don't want it to wash your wares. I wanted to want to wash your wares. And that's not valid. Why will I want to wash your wares? I don't want to wash your wares. I will want to wash.
My thing is, right, we live in the same space. I care about my space and I care about you, right? I don't have to want to wash it, but I know for us to coexist, you can't wash your wares all the time.
Exactly.
So I have to wash your wares as well.
Right, yes.
So I don't like to do no to, honestly, I like to do nothing. If I can stay only and do nothing, I will do that.
Right.
I have the capacity to do that.
Right.
All men.
But yes,
Not only men.
but as we always say, love conquers all, and love will conquer my not wanting to do anything because I love you. I will wash them ways as angry as I want.
But
I
you
have to
see,
smile.
this argument skewed. Let me tell you why. Because, okay, I will wash your wares because I love you, baby.
Right.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
You understand? And I will cook because you tired.
Yeah.
But babe, this Sunday, washing that car, I can't make it up. What we gonna do? Equality, baby. Look the bucket and the soap there. What we gonna do? And wash under the fender. That don't happen.
It does. It does. Because you have some.
Agreed. I see my neighbor wife washing the car the other day. And I applaud that. I say, wow. I say, that bastard, Kyle. I call him Kyle.
Everybody's situation is different. And you have to know what works for you. You understand? You have to know what works for you. So, at the same time, even though you might not want to, alright, but the mere fact or the action of doing it because of the love or doing it in spite of how you feel gives the impression of yes, he wants to help.
Right.
And I think that is the point you're making in the movie. You know? That shows that you're not doing it because you're being told to. You know, you're doing it because you internalize that hey, this is something that will help us as a collective.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
No, well, I mean, in the development of young males, that is one of the things or the aspects in terms of either the critical thinking or the community
And again,
thinking that we need to develop.
Again, that ties back into communication.
Right.
Because at some point, if it isn't said outright, both you and your partner have to sit down and communicate. Sit down and at least not argue, but trash out what you like, what he likes, what she doesn't like.
Well, they use hash out rather than trash.
Well, okay, hash out. Yeah, hash out might be a little
That's a
bit.
politician, I see.
Because what I like, what you don't like, what I will do, what I will, not even what I'm willing to do, what I will do. If there's things that I am slacking off on, or things that
So you get to find a compromise.
find a compromise.
I always put it as, I realize one thing you have to always remember, as much as you and a girl dated, you're not living together, right? Living together is a different thing, right? And people come in with an expectation. And listen, I was home, I'm in this environment, and I expect that same environment that goes there. Three things could happen when you now have to coexist. And I put it into the whole languages. Either you and I speak Spanish, right? If I speak Spanish, you speak French. Either you learn to speak Spanish, and we both speak Spanish in the house. Either I learn to speak French, or we create our own language. Right? That's the only way it will work. If you speak French and I speak Spanish in the same house, bacchanal. So everybody has to speak the same language. And people don't sit down before they get to that point and say, how do you speak? What does this mean? When I say, don't bother, some people say, well, you're being rude. But somebody might say, well, don't bother for me, that's how I talk. You understand? So all these questions and discussion, obviously sometimes you don't have to interview somebody, but with time you will see that, all right, this is different from how you do it. And with time, the language becomes commonplace. That's why they say use them, but your wife and
as Beach say, effectively communicating will help resolve a lot of issues.
But at the same time, okay, from inception, we learn to speak the same language. But then time goes by and people change. That's where coping comes along.
Well,
the communication has to be constant.
As you become an adult, or rather as you become an individual, you develop your own language, or your own, what's the word I'm looking for? Your own accent.
I don't think people change them.
Right?
Honestly. Like, I see it as people stop communicating.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing.
Communication has to be constant.
You're really different.
Yeah, exactly. Constant. The communication has to be constant.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's people develop their own accent. Right? And that's exactly the point I'm making. Because we have all learned the base things, the same base things. But how we apply it in our lives is what changes.
Yeah.
And obviously, the less time spent with any one person is the less information shared. Whether by openly communicating or just by seeing and observing, how you move, what you do.
I hear two C's keep coming up: communication and coping skills. In terms of the coping skills, if you look at what happening with men in society today, and how we treating with the women and what we doing to the women, the domestic violence, the domestic abuse. I know how they feel about that. Me personally, I ain't putting my hand on no woman.
Well, I agree. As that see that coping, that coping skill definitely needs to be improved. I don't know.
But where we fall down,
I'm glad you say that. You know why you say that?
How it reach the point now where a man had to kill a woman if she
say no. It's not a matter of the man. The man mightn't even have thought or even had the thought patterns of killing anybody growing up, or you know what I mean?
How it reach this?
Because the inability to cope with outside stimuli.
Good. And this is the same man who tell me the primary school when they had the age of reason. And I beg to differ because it starts where? Preschool. When we start to teach your child those concepts of coping skills, the little puzzle skills you teach children doing, problem solving skills and all that. All that helping them. So by the time they reach the age of reason, because of the developmental stages and they reach certain milestones, they're able to then reason and rationalize the behavior. So that is why I said primary school is not really the answer. You have to start from way down.
No, but I think we need to identify where we miss
the point is well noted. The point is well noted. You understand? The point is well noted because it's not a matter of like you saying my word is law.
No, it isn't. It's your opinion. And I agree.
But your point is valid. You know
but
what I mean?
I would like to say two shit. You see domestic violence. I, on the honest opinion, domestic violence is not a one-way street. Yes, sadly, men overdo the damn thing.
Action and reaction.
Yeah. But you see people when you tend to look at domestic violence as the physical violence.
Right.
What about, as I was saying before, with independence, that emotional independence? What about the woman who's telling my boy, relax, I'm making more money than you know? And he taking that day in, day out.
Anything. What you're saying there is true, right? No.
It occurs.
But to balance it off,
right?
The man says to the woman, you ain't looking good, you're fat.
right.
But
mental,
the woman ain't pick up a gun yet.
Agreed.
Right? But the man pick up a gun.
Right.
So it says to me that through the development, or lack of development, no. I believe men, because of how we grew up, when let me say you're home and a bat fly in the house, everybody run outside. They say Keevan go inside. Right?
You friend the back too. You friend the back too.
As a man,
you have to go.
You understand? And deal with it. Yeah, and don't cry. And so now what we have is layers and layers of cemented emotion.
Exactly.
I play it as a beach ball. When you have a beach ball under beach. If you have a beach ball under the water, so right, you can hold it for a little while, but eventually to keep that under there, your arms are hurt here, your face was at change, and when you can't take no more, everything will come out. You understand? So the man has been trained to take his emotion in a beach ball and put it under the water, so and whole day she's saying X, Y, Z, ting, I make more money than you. And when I can't take it no more, I bring out that hammer, boy.
And the thing is, you
don't
know what happened.
I bring out that hammer.
You don't know what happened.
You don't know what happened.
Not only that.
When that cork unleashed.
Not only that. Let's talk about the services. Okay, my wife dealing with my case. I go in the station and say, officer, I can't take it, you know. I'm going mad. The officer say, okay, we come in. They see your wife shorter than you, smaller than you. Big man. You serious? But you behave yourself.
One time. Now when you come down here for crying long tears.
Bitch, what you gonna think? What you gonna do? If you go to the station and the man tell you, what you gonna do? Asthma.
Asthma.
What you doing?
And
I don't know. Because you don't want to hit no, because you're not.
Your inability to cope with how you feel, your inability to express your feelings in a healthy outlet.
You know to yourself, you're not going to hit you. You know to yourself, you don't want to. The only thing that you have in your head is to walk away, and then in the back of your head, you know, if I walk away, it's the child that's studying,
my partner's getting a talk, it's a mouse in a house.
Yes. And I think men in that situation, they have this, like men crying and saying, oh, men thing and whatnot. That tears and not emotion is fear of not being able to probably react the way he may be accustomed reacting. Because if a man tell him that, he might bust a slap.
Right.
But he can't do it because he's been trained to hit a woman. But she's antagonizing me so much. And I try to run away from.
And you end up with internal conflict.
Correct.
And that's an observation I made. And there's where sport comes in, and we have to deal with this in probably our next line. Little musical chairs are playing with my cousins, niece, nephew, and them. When the girl lose first, she run on the side of the house. When you find her, big long satin tails, right? She outwardly expressing that disappointment. She lose. When the fella lose now, he go on the corner, they thing.
You better not cry.
He go on the tablet. Right.
Because it's allowed to release men.
Suppress.
But you have a kind of shame face.
So what is the message we want to give as a man?
First of all, it's okay to be able to speak. It's okay if you're feeling it, you have to cry. Right? If you're feeling it, you're feeling antagonized, you should find somebody, at least a fellow, a peer, a partner or somebody to talk to. Somebody you know who will listen. The other thing too is that in pursuing being the man of the house or the man or the breadwinner, you also have to understand you cannot take your partner for granted.
Right.
Right? You have to remember that they too will have feelings. Even if the both of you are on the same level of income earning, you still have to treat your
Roles
partner.
have changed, yeah.
Yeah. So and also to communicate with them.
I don't think income was even supposed to be the deciding factor.
No,
You
income
respect each other
It
first.
is what it is. Both of you all already house 8 to 4.
Yeah.
Income is
Respect
the
your
deciding factor, but you have to understand.
Some people use it.
Yeah, but you have to understand that that you have to communicate with your partner, and you have to understand as a man that you cannot take your partner for granted. That in itself causes a lot of conflict. Your partner as well has to learn not to take you for granted. And you can't become complacent, you can't become comfortable. You have to kind of talk to one another, switch things up a little bit.
I guess to I don't want to look at you, but to draw from Keevo's point, where it's like y'all as a couple, whether it be friends, whether it be intimate or husband, wife, however it is come together, you have to develop your own language.
Right.
Agreed.
Yes.
And somebody say that's the language of love.
Right.
But you have to develop your own language in order to keep your shit.
What's working for you, not working for me. What's working for you, working for Chef and working for Keevo, and not working for me.
Correct.
You have to work out your stuff. Right.
And I think the whole aspect of the whole crying thing, obviously, as a male, you don't have to, shed tears every 3-4 minutes because of something.
Yes.
I think it's more of understanding, yes, shedding tears is not a feminine thing, but crying, it encompasses so many different things. Crying is a release of the emotion. Crying is
outlet.
I want to talk to my brethren about something and it's how I feel. Right?
The healthy outlet.
A healthy outlet. So find it. If it is that crying is playing FIFA for an hour, cry for a brother. Right? Exactly. If that's what it is, and I think
I hope your connection.
And women have to understand that too. That this is me crying right now. This is me feeling my FIFA for an hour. Let me cry, please. Because when you cry, right, I let you cry the way you cry. You understand?
This is how I cry.
This is how I cry.
You had a piece of that, that how men could do something holy. I can't remember.
Yeah, we focus on one thing. When we detox, we just go on one thing. Sweat, football, FIFA, whatever it is, we detox. And crying, it is more than just having the shed tears. But I think seeing it and releasing it into the ether or to your wife or to whoever,
it is necessary.
It is necessary.
The healthy outlet is necessary. I mean, I have to stress on the healthy.
Yeah.
Because
Can be addicted.
I would like to say too that
you could cry like this whole day.
Yeah. It has to be.
Exactly. Point. But I would like to say too that the same way that women have broken barriers and they change over time, same way we could do the same change. We were conditioned a certain way.
Right.
We need to know how to now adapt to the 21st century. Alright, we have to know that things change. How we were brought up might not necessarily work in the 21st century. So what do we do now to effect change and to be better men?
Right.
Simple. Same way women break barriers and get the qualifications of doing what they have to do. Men now have to know, how do I cope with this? How do I adapt? How do I be a man to support?
Right.
You all remember this movie, How to Be a Player?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Once
your rap is strong, you can never go wrong.
What was the number one rule? Adapt.
Adapt. And men have not been adapted.
Exactly.
We still want to live in the 21st century how we were brought up, and it will never work. Never.
I think that's the main problem.
Thank you.
Adapt or die. It's okay to cry.
I remember the first date I ever had was a girl. We went to TGI, right? I played fast, and we went to TGI and she wanted Smirnoff. I said, we take a Smirnoff now, and I take a Smirnoff too, not knowing the price of the Smirnoff. When I reached, there was more than the money I had.
Oh shit.
I said, girl, I can pay for this now. And she paid for the whole bill. She started another thing, so don't worry, I'll handle it. And that destroyed me. I will never ever let a woman pay. But in 2018, we give away your money. When the next half, I don't want it every time.
And that is good both ways in a sense where, I mean, you still in 2018 don't want your don't want you to even hint that they have to put any money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, again, as I say, monkeys know where treat the plank, and you don't want to put your pick.
Yep.
I know we're wrapping up, but I want to stick in this one in this episode because I think it's really important for women to know that male self-esteem is equal to the male ego. You see how even ego mash up there? I see self-esteem there. If women understand that, I think
the master be very simple.
Our self-esteem is our ego. That same ego.
Women already know that.
They know that. Very well. So,
Okay, and with that, we have come to the end of our first Sip and Chat. Tune in to our next episode where we will gather again and we will discuss topics of interest to men, but also for men to know that they can be understood and heard. Right? For more about Los Gents, you can check out our website. It is www.losgents.com. Also check us on Facebook at Los Gents TT or Instagram at Los Gents TT as well.